Professor Brandon Gaucher. Thank you for enrolling in the course. This is History 1000 Modern Europe. My last name is spelled G-A-U-T-H-I-E-R. It does not make sense. If you know a little French, you might interpret it as Gautier. If not, you might say Gauthier, which I find mildly unpleasant, but it's okay. It is said Gaucher. It is one of those things which I've had to deal the constant pronunciation of my last name. Now, in this introductory video, what I'd like to do is briefly talk about the course description of the syllabus and break down some of the most important goals and objectives of the course with which I hope that we do achieve this semester. Though one may assume that history primarily consists of mundane facts and dates, this course examines the history of modern Europe through the lens of transformative ideas that have helped define the everyday lives of individuals. This course, with the goal of creating an appreciation for the significance of historical subjectivity, pays particularly close attention to the personal experiences of those who experienced dramatic historic change. Embarking on a survey of historical phenomena from the Enlightenment to the Bolshevik Revolution to the Cold War, we examine how the inception of ideologies manifested themselves in the decision-making of states over hundreds of years. The preeminent objective of the course is not to test your memorization skills, but to strengthen your ability to think critically about the meaning of historic change. Now, what does that mean? I mentioned a lot of different phrases there, and I want to break it down rather briefly. Now, what do I mean when I talk about transformative ideas? Now, what I'm broadly referring to, we might label as ideologies. An ideology is an intellectual blueprint, a set of values, a set of ideas that leaders, people from all over the world fall back on as a roadmap during times of crisis. It is the set of values and ideas that dictate your behavior and the ideas and values you rely on to make decisions. Now, ideas, transformative ideas, if we're going to think of communism or National Socialism, liberalism, all of these transformative ideas that would affect hundreds of millions of people, these ideas once started out as just that, small kernels in the mind of one individual or a few individuals. And so when we think about transformative ideas, I hope to create an understanding of how moments of philosophical reflection that lead to works like the Communist Manifesto, how those ideas can spread and blossom and affect the lives of hundreds of millions of people, how the world has permanently been changed in the last hundreds of years through the transformative nature of ideas. Now, I mentioned the importance of personal experience in my course description. If there's one thing I want you to approach this course with, it's with the understanding that we're talking about real people. We're talking about people who actually lived. René Descartes is not a fictional character from a movie. He was a human being, as all the historical actors, the men and women that we're going to discuss. They lived, they loved, they died. They were real. They had consciousness as we do right now, as I do sitting in this chair, as you do watching this video. And so, as we approach the course, I want you to think about how individuals, ordinary, sometimes extraordinary, dealt with momentous historic change. Now, in the course description, I mentioned the importance of, the complexity of historical subjectivity. What does that mean, historical subjectivity? And what I'm getting at is that these individuals that we're talking about, these personal experiences, it is that everybody's a product of their lives, of the decisions they encounter, the experiences that shape them. And as a result, everybody brings their own point of view and their own opinions to history. And so, very rarely is history black or white. In fact, it's almost always gray. Now, there is such a thing as right and wrong, black and white history, things like the Holocaust. But if we're going to talk about the Cold War, the Bolshevik Revolution, The French Revolution, we need to understand that individuals, leaders of countries, and nations themselves bring their own set of ideas. And so we cannot simply think of history in terms of black and white. We need to think of it in terms of gray. And so when I say historical subjectivity, the complexity of historical subjectivity, it is creating an appreciation for the different ideas and experiences that shape the viewpoints of historical actors, some of which we may not always understand. Now, if we're going to begin to understand causes and consequences, these are the three major tenets of history I believe we need to seek to understand. The importance of ideas, the importance of personal experience, and the meaning and complexity of historical subjectivity. Now, I hope that you find this course a fulfilling experience in terms of intellectual improvement. My goal as a professor is to help everybody better their writing style, to help everybody improve their critical, analytical abilities. That being said, it is not going to be an easy course. There's going to be a lot of work. I hope that you not only find it challenging, but that you do find it rewarding. I view one of my most important objectives as your professor to help you along on that path of improving your abilities, of achieving the goals with which I know you have likely set for yourself in the course. So that being said, I'm happy to help. I'm happy to answer all questions, and I hope that everybody in the class does make an A. Now that, of course, may not happen, but that is my goal. My goal is for everybody to do really, really well. So thank you for enrolling, and I look forward to an enjoyable semester.